Real quick, before we get into it, I just wanted to mention, I saw Gervonta Tank Davis pop into the chat earlier. Not sure if he's still around, he might have bounced, but if Tank's still here, man, we'd love to bring you in. Only because right now, the drama between Tank Davis and Floyd Mayweather just hit another level, and this time, Floyd isn't holding back. After years of tension, shady interviews, and a slow, messy fallout, Tank finally let loose, airing out all his issues with Floyd, calling him out over everything from his ego to how he handled their business dealings. But if Tank thought Floyd was just going to sit there and take it, he must have forgotten exactly who he was dealing with. Floyd's firing back, and the whole boxing world is tuned in. Tank recently said in an interview that he's not interested in doing exhibitions like Floyd. He made it clear, he only wants real fights. Tank said he would fight Floyd for real at his weight, but isn't chasing any fake matchups. You can tell Floyd's been waiting for a moment like this ever since Tank left Mayweather Promotions. Their relationship has been shaky for years. Floyd went from playing the proud mentor role to tossing little shots whenever he got the chance. Now, he's jumping at the opportunity to remind everyone who really built Gervonta Davis. According to Floyd, he met Tank when he was just a young kid who came up asking for an autograph. Floyd signed his phone, told him he'd be world champion someday, and promised to be his promoter. Fast forward, Tank worked with some people from Floyd's team. Floyd's got people everywhere. DC, Baltimore, Philly, New York, and after winning a few fights, Floyd predicted he'd be a world champ within 24 months. He claims he made the right moves, put Tank in the right positions, and now Tank's a multi-millionaire, living a life he couldn't even imagine back when he couldn't afford a bus ticket. But this beef didn't start yesterday. It's been building for a while. When Tank was coming up, Floyd was the one pushing him, setting up big fights, hyping him up as the next superstar. The problem was, Tank didn't like feeling controlled. He hated that Floyd always seemed to make everything about himself, even at Tank's own events. He wanted to be treated like a world champion, not like a kid under Floyd's shadow. Floyd says when he told young fighters to invest in real estate and plan for life after boxing, Tank took it personally, thinking Floyd was singling him out because he wore chrome hearts, Louis Vuitton, and drove Mercedes. But Floyd insisted he was speaking to all young fighters, not just Tank. Things got worse when Tank started hinting that he wanted to leave Mayweather Promotions. He made it clear he was ready to be his own boss. In interviews, Tank said it wasn't necessarily about leaving Mayweather Promotions. It was about taking responsibility for his own career, controlling his own priorities, and riding without training wheels. Floyd, at least publicly, played it cool, but behind the scenes, he wasn't happy. Floyd went from promoting Tank to barely even mentioning him, and when he did, it usually came with some backhanded comments about Tank still needing to learn and grow. Then there was the fallout with Leonard Ellerbe, someone Tank had a close relationship with. Floyd firing Ellerbe from Mayweather Promotions just made everything worse. Reports started swirling that Ellerbe might join Tank's GTD Promotions. On top of that, rumors spread that Tank blocked one of Floyd's fighters, Kermel Moton, from appearing on the Tank vs. Frank Martin card. The tension was clearly at an all-time high. When Tank finally spoke out during a live interview, he didn't hold anything back. He said Floyd only ever cared about himself, never truly supported him, and was more concerned about using Tank's success for his own gain. When someone asked Tank about his dream fight card, he casually said, Floyd, without missing a beat, making it crystal clear that this beef was personal now. But the real nuclear moment came when Floyd's daughter got brought into the conversation. Ryan Garcia had already hinted at it months ago, suggesting that Tank and Floyd's daughter had a relationship. At the time, people brushed it off as just another one of Ryan's crazy claims. But then Tank basically confirmed it. He admitted that Floyd's daughter had been messaging him, trying to get back into his life, and when Floyd found out, he lost it. Tank said that Floyd flipping out over his daughter was one of the real catalysts for their falling out. Even though Tank insists it wasn't the downfall of his career, it was definitely a turning point in their relationship. Tank even suggested that Floyd intentionally scheduled fights to mess with him after learning about the situation. Floyd, meanwhile, didn't stay quiet. Instead of ignoring it, he went all in, flipping the script and attacking Tank's professionalism. Floyd said Tank still fights like an amateur, criticized his discipline, and even took shots at his last fight against Lamont Roach, saying a real champion wouldn't have let that fight be so close. And speaking of that fight, it's important to point out that Tank may have seriously gotten lucky. During the 9th round, Roach caught Tank clean, and Tank ended up taking a knee, but somehow the referee missed it. The fight continued, and Tank walked away with a controversial win. But now, the Boxing Commission is reviewing the fight, and if they overturn the decision, Tank's undefeated record could be wiped out, and Roach would be declared the new champion. Roach definitely earned respect that night. He took Tank's best shots, stayed in the pocket, and fought fire with fire. A lot of fans feel like Roach won that fight 7 rounds to 5. If the commission does the right thing, it could dramatically change Tank's career trajectory. The fight exposed a lot, namely that if you can neutralize Tank's power, if you can take his punches without going down, suddenly it's not the same Tank Davis everyone fears. Technically, he's not the cleanest boxer. He relies on explosiveness, speed, and that dangerous left hand. If you take that away, he's beatable. Even Roach said afterward that Tank has decent power but it's not exaggerated, and that he himself has a chin, having sparred with middleweights and champions. Once Roach felt Tank's best shots, he realized he could take them and keep pressing forward. Now, Floyd is putting his focus elsewhere, specifically on Keyshawn Davis. Floyd's been mentoring Keyshawn quietly, training him at his gym, working pads, and even closing down the gym for private sessions. Floyd clearly sees Keyshawn and his brothers as the future. He's grooming Keyshawn to take over, and let's be real, if there's anyone who knows Tank's weaknesses inside and out, it's Floyd. Keyshawn is sharp, fast, and has that Olympic-level boxing IQ. He's not just relying on power. He knows how to keep his distance, stay composed, and break down his opponents technically. And he's hungry, the kind of hunger Tank doesn't seem to have anymore. Tank's hinted at retirement, saying he's tired of the sport. That's not the mentality you want when you're stepping into a dangerous fight against a young, hungry fighter like Keyshawn. Keyshawn, meanwhile, is calling Tank out directly. He said he wants Tank, that little short can't touch him, and he's not scared to say it loud. He doesn't want another fighter. He wants the biggest name. He knows knocking out Tank would catapult his career to another level, and he's coming with the same energy and belief that made Tank a star in the first place. 4 years, Tank was seen as this unbeatable monster. If he landed clean, it was game over. But now that aura is cracking. Against Roach, we saw a Tank who looked vulnerable, who looked like he could be outboxed. And now with Keyshawn Davis breathing down his neck, trained by the same man who made him a star, the stage is set for a major changing of the guard. If Floyd gets his way, Keyshawn Davis will be the man to end the Tank Davis era, and there would be no sweeter revenge for Floyd than to see it happen right in front of the world. Let me know what you guys think. Was the Roach fight a robbery? Is Tank still the man at 135 and 140? Or is the new generation already catching up? Drop your thoughts in the comments, subscribe if you haven't already, and stay tuned because the next chapter of this crazy story is coming fast. We'll catch you in the next video.